But now let's return to that breaking news that police have launched a major investigation into a plot to terrorise a synagogue, to have a terror attack on a synagogue. A caravan filled with explosives enough to create a 40-metre blast wave was found 9 days ago. All right, I'm joined now by the Australian Jewish Association President, David Adler. David, thank you so much for your time. First, what's your reaction to this revelation this afternoon?
Well, everyone's called it out as an escalation, and indeed it is. I mean, this is horrific. I used to live in a wonderful country called Australia. Maybe you remember it, because what we're seeing today is not Australia. And there are a couple of really important lessons which I don't think have been drawn out about the significance of the escalation. One is that for the first time we have demonstrated proof that extreme anti-Semites are able to get their hands on large quantities of explosives. So that's a clear lesson. And the second lesson is that we have people willing to plan huge terrorist events in this country. So that's a very toxic mix, and it feels to me a bit like a horrific game of Russian roulette, where hopefully the authorities intervene, but experience overseas, and I don't want to scare people, but experience overseas shows that from time to time these plans are executed, and that's where Australia is, unfortunately.
Well, you know, the Premier, in his own words, said tonight that there is concern out there that there could be a mass casualty event. Obviously, the police are working their utmost to stop that from happening, and we just have to have confidence that they are really throwing everything at this. And I saw firsthand how they are patrolling the streets, that, you know, they have a lot of resources out in the ground. Do you think this should have been kept from the public, and was your organisation informed about this?
We were not informed. We found out about it when the Daily Telegraph released the story. It is very significant for the community, and look, we don't know the detailed inner workings of the police investigations. I hope they had very, very good reasons for keeping it hidden, but normally you would want to at least fully inform the affected community so that they're aware, so people can make informed decisions about security and any additional precautions that they wish to take. We are certainly seeing the police more focused now, and if one wanted to take a bit of a cynical view, and I think it is a justified cynical view, the violent anti-Semitism has become a major public issue, and we know that there's an election, a federal election coming up, and perhaps that is what's driven the focusing of the minds.
Well, for the first time, we saw a freshwater poll in the Fin Review this week, earlier in the week, showed that law and order is now one of the top 5 issues that are worrying voters. Of course, cost of living is number 1, 2, 3, 4, basically, but law and order is now up there as an issue of serious concern. Of course, in the Jewish community, it is the number 1 concern all day, every day, but this is now affecting all of Australia. It was a non-Jewish preschool that was firebombed. A preschool being firebombed. You know, you can just never get your head around that. David, how is your community, your members, feeling at the moment?
Well, I can tell you that there is actually a visceral anger at the federal government particularly, because there is no doubt in the feedback that we receive that they have fuelled this anti-Semitism by their extraordinary sequence of hostile policy changes towards Israel, and the Jewish community in Israel are identified together in the minds of many people, and their failure for the last 15 months to deal adequately with the rise of anti-Semitism that we've seen in so many places. So there is a visceral anger, there is a disappointment, and I know for a fact that there has been a major swing away from the government in voting intention in our community, without a doubt.
Without question. All right, David Adler, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in tonight.
Thank you, Shari.